look at this. Net favorability. Party ahead at this point. Midterm years with the GOP president. In 2018, Dems were up by 12. In 2006 on net favorability, which party you like more? Dems were ahead by 18. Republicans are actually ahead on net favorability at this point by 5 points. So Democrats are just simply put running behind their previous benchmarks, and they need to be running well ahead of them if they want to take back the United States Senate, given that map.
To be clear, both parties are wildly unfavorable right now. However,
Democrats are even more unpopular than Republicans.
Some of these charts.
Yeah, now the Democrats don't even like Democrats. That's not a messaging problem. It's a full-blown identity crisis. But tell us more, Harry. Even if the Democratic voters don't like their leaders, does that, to you, just jump out of the screen?
This, to me, just jumps out of the screen because it screams primary challenges all over the map, and it says that even if Democrats don't like Donald Trump, they don't like their own party either when it comes to Congress. And overall, I mean, my goodness gracious.
My goodness gracious. Harry, watch your language. But what point he's trying to point out is the Dems aren't necessarily going to cruise in the midterms like their leaders would have you believe. But if they do win back some seats, do you think they'll reevaluate some things considering their own voters don't even like them?
You know, the funniest part is that the poll was done by CNN and all the Democrats were polled. I guess this network just wanted to give them a head on. That is the simple truth if you look into what is going on here.
The bottom line is our caucus and our party is strong and united, and we are fighting very hard.
The American people are rejecting Republican extremism and embracing the fact that Democrats are authentically making clear that we're going to work as hard as we can to make life better for the American people.
Just not the American people that have an R in front of their names. All right, but not all Democrats are ignoring the party's glaring issues. 2028 hopeful Rahm Emanuel calling out the left for losing sight of what voters care about.
You are worried about bathroom access and locker room access. Why don't you focus on classroom excellence? You have 50% of our kids not reading at grade level. We lost the plot. We as Democrats nationally, from Latinx to defunding the police to police organizations are all racist, to bringing a set of cultures to our schools. We are on the losing side of those culture wars. Full stop.
Kaylee, you and I love talking about Rahm Emanuel.
But actually, the Democrats in recent polls are actually faring worse than the Republicans. Take a look at a Quinnipiac poll out just this week. Shows that Democrats have their lowest approval rating in the poll's 15-year history. Only 18% give Democrats a high approval rating in the handling of the economy. Only 18%, 73% disapproval. What are you doing wrong?
Well, clearly that's an outlier poll.
The simple truth is this. They can't even accept that this is what their voter base is saying. You know, they just want to tell you what they want you to believe. The reason you see them doing this. At some point, if they don't listen to a poll like this, then I don't understand what exactly they are doing. If this was pulled by Fox News, I would say no, maybe they were a little bit biased. This was pulled by CNN. And coming from CNN should tell you one thing. It might even be worse than what they are telling us. Seeing Chuck Schumer, this other guy coming out to say, oh, our base belief is crazy. If you look at what is going on, they believe a lot of Americans will turn against Trump. Reason they have confidence, like, oh, they have already swept the midterm. This is what they are believing right now.
I think you're seeing a lot of frustration just generally. And, you know, because Democrats are the out party, I think there's a lot of pressure to try and provide solutions for a lot of people's problems.
Trey Easton with the Searchlight Institute, a think tank devoted to pushing Dems toward more popular policy, says he's not surprised people think the left needs some new ideas.
I think you just got to start doing stuff differently. Republicans have figured this out, especially, President Trump. And I think the more Democrats just sort of shake off the rust of thinking that they can't say certain things or behave certain ways, people will come back. I think people have to see, life in the party.
The CNN poll showed 67% of Democrats believe the fight over whether or not to lean more left or track more towards the center is causing problems within the party. Republicans, including the president, frequently hammer Dems for issues like voter ID and transgender participation in sports.
Just 25% overall say yes. You might say, okay, well, at least Dems like Democrats. Not the case. Look at this. The majority of Democrats are independents who lean Democrats. Look at this. 55% say no, congressional Democrats do not have the right priorities. And then you just see a minority, 45% of Democrats say that congressional Democrats have the right priorities. This, to me, just jumps out at the screen because it screams primary challenges all over the map, and it says that even if Democrats don't like Donald Trump, they don't like their own party either when it comes to Congress. And overall, I mean, my goodness gracious.
While Democrats are increasingly confident they can overcome Republicans' narrow majority and retake the House, their path to victory in the Senate is much more complicated. Joining me now to break it down is our NBC chief data analyst, Steve Kornacki. So, Steve, give us the reality check here. How realistic is it that Democrats are actually going to be able to retake the Senate? And if so, what is their path in order to do so?
Yeah, Mel, I guess the answer to that question is how realistic do you think it is for Democrats to win in not one, but two pretty deeply pro-Trump states? That's what they'd have to do to get the Senate. Look at it this way. Here's the big picture map. Democrats need a net gain of 4 seats if they're going to take back the Senate. Now, the first order of business for them is they don't want to lose any ground. They got to protect a couple seats here. The 3 you're thinking of there, it's John Ossoff in Georgia. It's also Democratic-held seats in New Hampshire and Michigan. They don't want to lose any of those. That would only add to the Republican majority and make the Democrats' hill probably too steep. But if they Trump era, these are very red states, certainly in 2024. And the political atmosphere is just different in red states. Take a look at this. This from sort of a compilation of all of our NBC News, CNBC polling. Our pollsters put this together here. Trump states, that's what we're talking about. Democrats needing to win at least 2 of those Senate races here versus swing states, versus Harris states. Views of Donald Trump. In swing states, they're almost 10 points more negative than positive. In Trump states, Trump is above water by 3 points. Views of the Democratic Party, they're not good anywhere.
Yeah, if you take a look at what is going on, you realize what Democrats have in common right now is Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, they all hate Trump. And it is very difficult to be in this position where your base don't like their party. Extremely difficult. When I look at this poll, at some point I was like, what is this? How can this be possible? They don't like Trump. They don't like their own base. You should understand better. How can you actually even resolve this? If you look at polls, when they talk about Trump, you realize almost all MAGA love Trump. Just a few, based on these recent CNN polls. But in the Democrat Party, it's difficult. Now they are very loud because they realize there are a lot of things to talk about Trump. Oh, Trump has done this one. Oh, Trump. Then they are forgetting to understand that very soon, Trump will not even be there. For them to be having these DDS.
If that passes, one of the poorly educated.
Thank you guys for always been sharing out the videos. I'm going to end here as of the short clips. That is for the white algorithm.
Oh my! It's our job to tell which are the jokes and which are the things that are just part of his sometimes batshit agenda.
So I get suspicious when anybody, whether it's
no one should be above scrutiny.
I think that Whoopi Goldberg, you might want to think.
Isn't their whole testimony?
Yes.
I do.
Yes, I do.
And that.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about people.
A person's home, it's very easy to understand.
When I look at that video, I don't see both sides in a dogmatic.
The Golden Globe for Best Editing goes to the Justice Department.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
Yes. Of course, this is for
the mother.
Babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me.
Thank you, everyone. I'm a little in shock about that.
Maduro.
Let your hatred and
Sit this one out.
Well, these guys.
There you go.
$1,500.
Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want to see
it
them
is coming.
get.
MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Rob.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
So you and your husband were friends.
Everybody knew that wasn't true.
A dangerous relative as a likely suspect. A tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on his own. In one interview, she said,
We should have said nothing. The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Yeah.
Absolute horror.
Hi, Mel Gibson. I'm in Italy.
There is a quota system.
This is my 6th and last year hosting the Grammys. Song of the Year. Congratulations, Billie Eilish.
New York rent is crushing people. Child
Act, if that passes,